you don't have a phone, make sure that this is actually working, do you?
I do.
All right.
It looks like
I know, we're going. All right. Hello, everyone. We're up again as usual. We're going to make sure that we're actually working. John's going to take his good old time. Anyway, all right, we're going to get started. So this is 17. All right, good. So, like we said before, so we're actually going to do an interview with our buddy in the middle here. This is Matan. So, Matan literally just finished buying a house just a couple minutes ago. So we have a couple prepared questions for him, and we worked together for over a year maybe, kind of start to finish, yeah. And he worked with John, who you guys all know John well from Primary, and so we're gonna ask him some questions. He's gonna kind of clue you in on what his insights were to the home buying process. All right. So the first question is: so was the actual process anything like you expected?
No, not at all.
Why not?
Yeah. I think especially as a younger person, the home buying process is sort of called out to be this really complicated process that you really shouldn't even think about until you're, well into your 30s or 40s, have a family, ready to really settle down and make that sort of stereotypical lifestyle choice. But as soon as I got into the process, even from just contacting you via Zillow and getting connected and starting to see houses, it was just a lot simpler than I expected. Because you all did a lot of the work to break down what it is that I need to know and what I need to be doing and what you all can be doing on the backside so that I don't have to deal with that.
Perfect.
And so that was definitely unexpected.
Thank you for the compliment. We did not ask him to say that, by the way.
None of this has been.
Yeah.
He's not being paid for this.
So what was the easiest part, do you think, of buying a house?
I think that the easiest part was probably the home searching process.
Okay.
I think I had a clear idea in my head of what I wanted, and even if I couldn't quite articulate that, it was sort of as soon as we started going into houses even a year ago, I kind of knew exactly what I wanted, and I was expecting to be a little more confused about what I was looking for.
And do you think that became more clear when you physically started to actually see the houses versus just kind of seeing them online and on paper, things like that?
Absolutely, yeah. Everything online looks amazing.
Yeah.
Right? And then you walk in the front door and you start to see that the floors are crooked or whatever it is, you start to notice and starting to have those reactions to things, what I liked and what I didn't, which I wouldn't have known that I would have reacted that way beforehand.
Gotcha. And what was the hardest part?
The hardest part, I think, was just making sure that I had every piece of documentation in place. It was. It's just you think that you get to the end of it, and then there's another piece of paper you need, or you need a letter confirming your employment, or you need this and that. So not that it was extremely difficult, but I think it's just the most time-consuming. You have to really pay attention to detail and make sure you get every piece lined up and ready to go.
And John, you can probably talk about this a little bit more. I know we talked about this like on other episodes, but you were ready to go. I mean, you were cleared because you were 2 weeks earlier than we actually closed today. And I kept saying, again, good job of being organized. I mean, so it does help. If you're organized ahead of time, it helps so much with the process. Because if you're unorganized to start with, you can talk about that more.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, it's, Matan was on the ball. He was able to get us the documents as soon as we asked. And, look, everybody's got a life, so we don't expect you to drop what you're doing to get it. But I always just say, get it back to us within 48 hours, and everything will go as planned. And I think that's the key. There is a lot of documentation, but we're giving you a lot of money, so we need to make sure that everything is lined up properly.
Yeah, and the fact that everything is online now, it was a lot easier that once I had documents, I had some online version, and so it wasn't like I had to go find it again if you all needed another copy or needed me to re-sign something, which never happened. But if that had come up, it's all there, ready to go.
And everything could be uploaded, which I'm sure was pretty easy.
Amazing.
Yeah. So
not having to deal with hard copies of anything until today just made the whole process surprisingly easy.
And this, you may have an answer for this, but were there any huge surprises to you as you went through the process?
No, I mean, I think that not that it was a surprise, but constantly having to ask questions. I think that sort of maybe helped there not be any surprises. And maybe you can talk to this. I don't know. I feel like I was asking questions.
You did ask a lot of questions.
Asked a lot of questions. Really pushed you. And I think that your team as well. I was calling pretty frequently just to make sure I got in everything or just understand what the documents were. There's a lot of numbers that are thrown around, and just making sure that I have the best understanding that I can.
And I think it's fairly common. I think we do our best to give the information that we think you need, but everybody wants different information, or they're into different things. They want to live a different way. So you got to ask questions. You got to ask enough questions to feel comfortable. So
I think a big important thing too is obviously having a structured time to talk with the realtor before you go out, having a structured time to talk with the lender before you make a decision, and really kind of ask those questions ahead of time so you're not confused throughout the entire process.
Yeah.
So.
And I think another thing that I would point out that maybe was a hard part of it at the beginning was actually choosing the lender.
Sure.
We were just talking about this, but sort of everybody is promising you the whole world in a way, and so my bank and different lenders, everybody's trying to show that they really are on top of their stuff. And I think that it really came down to a big piece was responsiveness. Just knowing that I could pick up the phone and talk to someone on your team at any point, and also just timeliness. I think that's something that we talk about. There are some other things that are banks that can be slower, and just being aware of that and knowing like the extent of how fast I wanted to move on this house. I knew that it was going to have to be with a group that could.
That has some flexibility.
Yeah, have flexibility and go
like,
fast.
Yeah, go with somebody who's local, so
Yep.
they can answer your phone calls, and go somebody has some flexibility.
And reputation.
Yeah, sure.
In the sense
Right,
that, like, I think our company and myself have a very good reputation in the industry. Not to pat myself on the back, but
so about yourself.
I think that's thanks.
And also knowing that you all have a working relationship, so to know that things were going to be communicated clearly between the two
It's
of you.
fluid between them.
That's a huge deal.
Yeah.
So.
All right, last question. So now that you've gone through the whole process, do you have any advice for another, person similar to you, a young person who's about to buy their first house? Sorry, Stephen. I'll get back to you in a second. So a young person who's about to buy their first house, do you have any advice for them?
I mean, I would just say, even from the start, just explore the idea.
Okay.
The fact that I met with you a year ago and then months went by before we met again, because I got into a situation where I saw a bunch of houses I liked, then realized that really it was going to be better if I waited a year, had another year of employment at the same place, and just understanding that and just taking my time, but also being open to the idea that I can buy a house at 25.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's...
and your payment is, similar to what you paid in rent?
It's actually way less. So,
there you go.
So for people to understand that as well, I think especially in a city like Baltimore, rent is going up, and knowing that you can actually be paying towards towards owning a house is a pretty amazing opportunity and a huge privilege. So,
and then to have a write-off is huge too.
Yeah.
Until like April 15th.
Yeah.
And I even think, if I remember correctly, when you first got started, I even think you were a little surprised because you were calculating the numbers. You were calculating your salary based off a certain way, and then when you got to John, you're like, "Oh, that's not how you do it." And I was like, "No, that's not how you do it." And you were like surprised. So
I definitely gave you, I think, like the wrong figure.
And
you were like, "Absolutely not."
Most people give me the what they take home. We go off of the gross.
Yeah, you're like, "Come back in several years." And I was like, "Well, there's actually this other number here, and you're like, "Oh, absolutely." And so just understand.
What do you really make?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Did you really tell him to come back in several
years? No, but no, but I think that's the thing is like there's so many numbers, and just having it all prepared ahead of time. That's the other thing I would say is be as organized as you can ahead of time. Having every piece of documentation. There's definitely going to be something that comes up that you don't have on hand, but having as much of it already scanned, ready to be emailed, knowing all of that's in place, I think that really made it key. Because I was able to send that stuff back pretty much as soon as I got a request from you all.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's it. Congratulations, man.
Thank you so much.
Go enjoy your house.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for tuning in.